Welcome. This is the 116 Life, Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. And today's a very, very, very special day. I got some amazing people in the building with me. Let's give it up for Wande, Jackie Hill Perry, CiCi, Childlike CiCi Toyalove, Reece Lache. This is gonna be very laid back, informal. I mean, honestly, what's dope is I think this is some of y'all's. This is maybe it's not your first time meeting Jackie, but I think this is maybe your first time meeting. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is like the fact that we're all doing something special together. I think it's dope in the digital age when you make music from afar, sharing files, and you actually meet the people that you're on. So with that said, I got a special announcement just to kind of make public at this moment. We got a Stay Low remix, y'all. Stay Low remix coming out. We got the amazing Jackie Hill Perry on the record. Thank you so much. Wande on the record. The amazing First Lady Reach Records. A little backstory. I got to bring you in, Toya. Right. So this remix happened because of something you started. That's why I'm excited, because it wasn't an A&R play, it wasn't a label play. It was literally just an organic reach out on social. So talk about that.
Okay, so check this out. Okay, let me act like somebody. So it was a thread. It was on Threads, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember the conversation for it. Jackie, you remember? And then I was like, "Oh, Jackie, be on the Stay Low remix." And then you like sent me some eyes. I was like, "Shoot, let me shoot my shot." And I was like, "Hey, Ace," I screenshot. I was like, "Hey, Ace, reach out to Jackie and ask her to please get on the track." Like, I'm trying to be chill, but I really appreciate you. Man. And then I did a video, and I was like, "You didn't see it." And then I like probably 300 people tagged you in real life, but it was like a million.
It was like a million.
Because I don't look at the heart mentions, and so I wouldn't have saw it.
Yeah, there's so many. It's
not many. You get caught up in seeing stuff that make you mad too. So
I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I mean, what was dope was like you sent me that text, and I was like, I immediately texted Lecrae like, "Hey, what's up? We doing this?" He was like, "Run it." And then I on Threads is weird. Every time I say Threads, I be wanting to say tweet. It's just I'm still adjusting. But anyway, I mentioned the idea. I went back to Jackie, and then she left me unread for like 2 weeks.
Oh, I didn't see it, sir. And then I didn't know you went to my church.
No, so then I'm serving. No, here's the thing. No.
He was working kids' church, and I had to go get my kids. And he was like, "Hey, I'm Ace." I was like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you."
That's crazy. I know that part.
Yeah, right. So Jackie we go to the same church. And I feel like when you're with people who are perceived as like, I'm sure you guys go through this, right? As public figures in the Christian space, you want to be respectful of people's space. Reece is trying to be humble. Because you just told me somebody came up to you the other day and said they like your verse. So you capping.
Oh, man.
Okay. But I feel like it is a thing in Christian culture when you have public figures, you want to be mindful, because some people can do the most and be a little awkward and weird. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of especially I'm around artists, so I was like, man, I'm not gonna introduce myself to Jackie, but I felt I had something to share with you that made sense. So yeah, and then take it from there. I think we brought you in and you killed your verse, and and then Wande, I want to bring it to you a little bit. I think so. I forget, how did this happen?
I think it was our group chat. We have like an A&R group chat.
Okay.
So I think it was from there, and then that.
Did we just send it to you with Jackie? Or I forget. Was it like?
I think Jackie was on.
Okay.
What was you going? Maybe not yet.
We didn't send your verse. I think we mentioned the idea that you were on it.
Yeah, I think they said like interest. And then it was like, hey, we love Jackie, so no complaints.
Yeah.
And then also we love y'all too. Right.
Nobody know what happened.
Yeah, so I think you were a theory that was like, there's a chance, a strong chance.
Sure.
And so it was kind of like faith. Then, I think it was like, yeah. And then from there, then I like went to the studio. Yeah,
that's the reason why I know I've said it probably twice. I'll say it 3 times now. It happened literally organically. There was no play here. The fact that we're all sitting here is really amazing to have amazing women in the Christian hip hop space. International Women's Month. I don't know how y'all feel about that month, but I think it's great. We are celebrating women. And just to have this record out. So for those who've been living under a rock, I want to just, have you guys introduce yourself for the people who just may not know everything about what you guys have done. I'll probably start with you, Reece. Just tell a little bit about yourself, what you do, and yeah. Thanks for being humble.
So my name is Reece Lache. I'm a
Christian hip hop artist from Louisiana. Recently moved to Tulsa.
Oh, hey.
I don't really have a lot to say. Just that's me. That's it.
What's your vibe?
I'm hard.
What?
I was just playing. I was saying like I'm
Okay.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Y'all need a TV show, by the way. But we keep going to
I
it.
swear, baby. So dope.
Who am I talking
See,
to?
that's
I'm
No,
talking
we here. I mean, they gonna feel us, but it's
They
family.
gonna cut it out, right?
Oh yeah, they catching all the angles. Ain't gonna lie, but yeah.
Okay, we good. Oh, we good.
But we're
right
going to you first.
Okay,
Talk-
what's up, it's your girl Toyalove. So I'm from South Carolina. Town got like 800 people. And then one day I just felt like, gosh, like I had a dream. I was doing a concert or something. And God was like, take music seriously. Then my homeboy was like, bro, you need to take music seriously. Cause I've always liked poetry, like Edgar Allan Poe, the weird stuff.
That's crazy.
You know, so then I just took it seriously. I moved to the A. I've been here like 4 years. And I just been walking by faith. And I just believe that like, just trust God and he gonna do whatever that need to be done. Yeah.
Love it.
Amen. Y'all want a long version, short version?
I mean, whatever we got time. Go ahead.
All right, well, my name is CiCi or Childlike CiCi. I'm a Christian rapper as well, artist out of North Carolina. I started doing Christian hip hop in like 2022, I want to say. 2022. God just saved my life. I'm just grateful. I'm a vessel. I tell God use me however. I'm rapping now. Maybe singing later, maybe preaching later, whatever you want me to do, I'm gonna do it. So I'm just here. I'm grateful. God is good. So that's it.
You be preaching on your profile all
Thanks,
the time.
Yeah, that's
Killing
good.
it.
And I'm proud of her because she usually say she from New York and she only lived there for 6
I am
months.
from New York.
So I'm really proud.
I feel like people from New York gotta make it
I
plain
was born
that they're
in
from New York.
Brooklyn,
So
York, but I moved when I was like 4. So I'd be like, should I claim it? Then
feel
people
like-
like, what part you was at? I was like, I don't even know. So I just stopped claiming. Yeah.
Yeah, you from North Carolina.
It's okay. No, I think that's dope though that y'all from the Carolinas, cause like I
Yeah.
feel like y'all like one of the first people I met from over there. So I'm like, oh, okay, Carolinas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's up, y'all? My name is Wande. You know, I'll be Christian rapping. A little bit about me. I got saved when I was like a teenager, so I've been walking with God for a long time in my life. But yeah, I think for me, I fell into rap accidentally. I had a biology project, and my teacher was like, "Oh, you can rap if you want." And I was like, "This is way easier, so I'm gonna choose this option." Started rapping. People were very impressed, and I was like very confused because then like basically it changed the trajectory of my life because then like it was a ridiculous like attention grabber, and then because I was saved before, I was like, okay, well since I have your attention, I'll just tell you about Jesus through rapping. I guess it's more effective. And that's how it started. And then I got tired of rapping every day, like at lunch. And so what I started doing was I went on YouTube and learned how to record. So that way when people were like, oh, can you rap for us? I'm like, oh, here's a YouTube link. And that's kind of how I started. And then from there, one day I did like a talent show at a youth conference. And then I felt like God was like, I want you to do this like legitimately for your life. And so that's kind of like how it started. I went through phases because I'm Nigerian and like that's not a normal career. So I had to figure out, I feel like that was my first journey of like developing boldness because I had to like go against my parents to do it, but to be obedient to what God was telling me to do. But I was like, okay. And he actually had to scare me in a dream though, because I actually was about to chicken out. Yeah, I was going to be the doctor. And then God was like, if you don't do it, you know, it's going to get done without you. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Had to be the first lady of Reach.
LOL. But I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna listen, like, dang. So, yeah, that's basically why I was so adamant about like pursuing rapping and to keep doing it, even if it didn't look like it was making sense type stuff. Because I was like, well, God told me to do it, so it's me and him. And so that's like my story on rapping and why I'm here.
Shout out Wande. She's always like uplifting other women in this. I mean, always sending us reps. She was sending me all y'all stuff before. Like, Wande just be tapped in. So I appreciate you. I mean, she was an intern here before we hired her as an intern. Then before she was actually signed, we signed her while she was working here at Reach Records, which is like
Two chicks.
Nah, I appreciate you. Just the way you literally intentionally uplift women in the space all the time. So shout out you, Wande.
Praise
All
God.
right.
We talking about rap?
Just I think rap. I feel like people know the Jackie.
Okay.
But I want to hear about rap. I want to hear about that part.
One, I'm a disciple first, then I'm a wife, and then I'm a mother. Yeah, I think with rap, it really just started because I was at a church called P4CM that kind of had a platform because of spoken word poetry. and they wanted to do like this video with people doing like 16 bars on a roof or something like that. And all I had was a poem. So I just did the poem real like slow. And I felt a way because I was like, all these poets out here rapping and I don't have a rap. And I feel like if I tried, I think I would be decent. So I just started writing raps just to do it. And so I think even my stint with Humble Beast was me just, I write raps because I enjoy it. It doesn't make me money. I don't like performing.
Okay.
I mean, if I get a particular deal, I mean, hey, but I think it's just something I like to do. I just like music.
For sure.
So.
I think that's, I mean, it's really special having you here, Jackie. I mean, people may cross your path. They may come to you from the podcast, your platform, you're speaking and preaching. But I mean, I knew Jackie Hill, the rapper, first. So that's my introduction. I think it's actually fitting that we're here on the 116 Life, where we talk about faith, culture, music, hip hop, where, you know, I think it's dope to see people who are multifaceted. And I think you being on this song, I think it's not an accident at all. Because I mean, you mentioned to me before, Jackie, like, man, I still rap, y'all. Like, y'all can hit me up for features, you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes there's an element of... Say it again?
How did I miss that post somewhere?
I mean, no, it was a conversation we had. But I think
because I'm always open to features.
Right.
Just nobody calls me. So it's like...
Toyalove did!
No, I'm like,
Nobody calls
you
me.
should never said that on here.
Yeah,
you about to get.
That ain't a yes for everybody.
It's just a special
You
one.
still gotta be particular kind of person.
I feel you.
But what you was gonna say?
Oh, I'm saying I think it's more of like a high standard thing. I think people know not to like come with you with nonsense. So I feel like that's more of why of like,
Yeah, but the song can't be nonsense either. I feel like, it's gotta be on point. Nah, but I think it's super dope. Just having y'all here, especially like women in hip hop. I feel like that's a hot topic even outside of the church. I mean, a lot of people are programming things and doing things. I mean, to highlight women intentionally. I respect the intent of it. I think that's amazing. But I also want to make sure we're being careful of doing it in a way that's sincere and genuine. Because y'all remember 2020, the BLM movie? Like there was a lot of like performing for Black culture and a lot of we're gonna do this. So I think that this song happened. Like I said, it's so dope that it happened organically. But tell me, what you guys, what's y'all's takeaway? Anybody jump in? Like women in Christian hip hop rapping. What is y'all's like perspective on it, especially when women in hip hop is such a hot issue right now? What's y'all like knee jerk? Like, man, this is important. Like, what's y'all's like thoughts in the state of culture? You know what I'm saying? Women in hip hop.
I think I would say, praise the Lord for y'all. I feel like it's become like way more just normal now. I feel like before it was like a novelty, like Jackie coming in, it was like a novelty, like, oh snap, Jackie, like she's the only one in the Humble Beast crew. Then I guess I had an era where it's like a novelty type stuff. So I feel like now, y'all made it regular. I feel like I can put my Spotify on shuffle. I hear y'all on random songs. Like, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't feel like, oh, it was a women empowerment song and now there's a girl on it. But now it's just any song, like, and I'm just vibing. I might hear one of y'all's verses on it type stuff. So I feel like,
I love how you said that it's not, quote, just a women's empowerment song. Because I think the knee jerk, let's amplify women. Sometimes the knee jerk response to that is let's make this like Avengers women moment to uplift women, whereas all you have to do is just like share the mic, like just share the platform, share the microphone. But say more, Reece.
It's definitely necessary, and it's dope, like she said, to be, in the midst of you guys, but you ladies, it's definitely necessary. Like when I told you I showed up to church, little girl in my church, she like masked up. Please don't get me gassed up.
That's amazing,
and it's amazing. And it's me.
What does that mean? Yeah.
It could be anybody. I'm not gonna say names, but it could be it could be Cardi B. It could be Sexy Red. It could be, you know what I'm saying? But it's us.
Yeah.
So
actually, I want to take this conversation to the next level in the next segment because I want to dive deeper on what you just said. I think there's so much there to unpack. It could be anybody, but it's like she's quoting you, you're quoting the Lord, you're putting in the art.
Yeah.
Shout out God, man. He be glorified just from us, y'all using y'all gifts the way y'all do. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. We'll be right back, y'all, to dig into this conversation more. Appreciate y'all. Welcome back. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. I'm here laughing because Reece is always making me laugh on break. She's amazing. That's my little sis. But speaking of Reece, she was just mentioning something that stood out, and I just want to camp out there. You mentioned that the young lady came to you at church and quoted your line, actually a line that you had kind of fought with a little bit about the content, but you said that line, she quoted you in a way to kind of pay homage to what you're saying. Like say a little bit more, and I'm gonna bring you in after
about
that.
me and you fighting about the verse.
Well,
or?
say more about what it meant for her to. We can. That's family business. Yeah. Like,
it always means a lot.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the first time, but it always means a lot, especially when it's a young girl. Because we don't have too many, or I don't want to. Why you came back to me?
I mean,
Let me
jump in, CiCi.
Because what I was thinking about, like how Wande mentioned, like how you can turn on stuff and you may hear it in shuffle. I feel like that relates a lot to like the Christian space.
Sure.
But when I think about like in a general sense, if you're not really tapped in with CHH, you don't know he exists. If I'm being honest, a lot of people don't even know like this genre is a thing. And that's what I appreciate is when people are able to discover like, hey, there's more to women in hip hop. Like you don't have to necessarily be rapping about a certain subject.
Sure.
You don't have to compromise your integrity or body or whatever the case is in order to make good music. So that's what I appreciate is just that there's an alternative for those who desire that.
Exactly. Yeah, it does make, anybody else wants to say this, but I think it is amazing that little girl said that because, I don't have any daughters, but for my nieces, it's like, I think when you think about women in hip hop, your first reaction isn't, Stay Low remix, because culture associates women in hip hop with such a negative, depending on where you stand, depending on what your filter is. To some, it's empowering. To a Christian lens, it's like unbecoming. It's like, I don't know if that's the best way to represent women, period. Exactly. And then when you hear little girls reciting those lyrics, same for the men too. So I know y'all gonna be in the comments, but it's like this isn't the best way to reflect a 10-year-old, 12-year-old girl, even a 25-year-old woman, if I'm being honest. Talk about how important it is for women in hip hop, women in Christian hip hop, to just cut through the noise and the stereotypes that people associate with women in hip hop. I mean, anybody.
So literally, I just left the Bahamas. I had a show. The girl said, "Hey, can you do Stay Low? I want to request that you do that song." And I was like, what? They played the music. They were saying the words. So like, it's definitely making an impact.
How old were they? I'm just curious.
They probably was like 14
to
18, maybe something.
I asked for a reason, because sometimes if it's like 5 and 6, you're like, your parents made you.
Right.
If you're 14 tapping in, there's an intentionality in the listening. It's like, that's amazing.
And Caribbean praise is different. Like they praise God. It's on another level.
Sure.
So it definitely makes a difference. They're happy to see that.
Yeah.
And you gotta walk in your boldness and your gift and your light and be unapologetic about it. And when people see that and they know like it's not a show, like we just really love God and we just really a disciple of Him, it makes them feel okay. Because if you don't have that okay, like you just feel different and you feel awkward, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Just like she was talking about Cardi.
Yeah.
Before her, no other people were scared to have babies. Like female rappers were scared to have babies. But when Cardi had her baby and she just had the baby, it made people feel like I can have a baby and be a great. Just like Jackie, like I appreciate about her, she shows her family. Like how do you balance it all? So I kind of look to her as like, how can I present my family? How can I do it?
Dope.
So I really be looking at that and I be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It can be done, like it's possible.
That's amazing. I'm gonna bring you in too, Jackie. Like something you touched on, like you are a disciple, a wife, and then a mother. I'm going with, but you are like you hip hop. Like you an MC. Like you're a rapper. How does it feel, like killing this verse, being who you are?
I don't know if it's killed.
You buried it. It was amazing. I'm dead. No, it's no gas for sure. But like, how does that feel like in this stage? Because I don't know if it's been since Crescendo was the last album. I don't know if you were a mom then. I'm not sure.
I was pregnant.
Okay. How does it feel rapping now, post kids? Like how does it feel?
Interesting. I think there's a sense in which I'm trying to reclaim a sound that I put to the side. That was really the curiosity around Stay Low. Was I liked the song, I kept playing it, and I was like, I wonder how I would sound on it. Not in an arrogant kind of way, more so like how could I modify what I'm used to as far as cadence to match this sound. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Because when I went to Humble Beast was primarily, they from Portland. And so like, I'm from St. Louis. And so they were giving me beats that weren't what I grew up on, but I know how to like, I know how to bend into a particular category. So
sure.
I did that. But I'm in a space now where it's like, nah, I want to see what it would be like to sound like myself. And so that's what I feel like on this side is I just want to make music that feels like me.
I think that's dope because when you said feels like me,
Yeah.
my expectation for you on the record, my expectation was
Hip hop.
I don't know what to expect.
It did hip hop. It
Lyrical
don't stop.
miracle.
That's what you thought.
No, but I mean, to be honest, when we heard the verse, me, Alex, Dre, Lecrae, we were like, wow. And when you said you're from St. Louis, it all made sense to me. I'm like, oh,
Right.
Jackie from the Midwest. Like
Right.
that's a part of her, like the sound you had released before.
Yeah.
But you have a lot more like weapons in your arsenal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
lyrically
I have
and
more
cadence-
words.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I think lyrics have to be an expression of knowledge.
Sure.
And you can tell when people are rapping that don't read.
Amen.
Hey, facts.
Like, you can hear it. It's like, oh, you just got the same words all the time. Like, when you listen to Kendrick, that's a thoughtful dude.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Eminem can rhyme the way he rhymes because he has a lot of options.
Sure.
And so for me, I have more to say because I've read more.
I think we need to hear more, which I think is
Yeah.
amazing to have you here and to have you on this song. And speaking of lyrics and Wande, why is it important? Like somebody said this, they was like, yo, making Christian hip hop dope is actually harder than making ignorant
agree.
music slide. I mean, what are y'all thoughts? I feel like say it again. Say it again.
That has a lot to
She
do
said
with
you
what
don't have
she
demons
just
helping
said.
you.
She said I've read more. She's not illiterate. That literacy and a lot of
Go ahead. No, say
a lot
it.
of people are. A lot of people, and it's not, and that's no. I shouldn't have said that word. No. But it's the lyricism is missing a lot because a lot of people, like even the Bible says that in the last days, people their ears gonna be itching, like they can't a lot of people can't understand somebody like Jackie Hill Perry, so they go with Sexy Red.
Yeah.
And it's
I feel you. I mean, I think lyrics are powerful. It's like sometimes we're in these studios and we're like tweaking K. I'm like, man, we're working really hard we want to honor God with our lyrics, our content. We want to make it dope too. I don't want to make music that I don't want to hear myself. So we're talking offline about another artist having like a boring. This is a mainstream artist. Like, I don't want it to be boring. I want us to be like, you see how y'all dress, how y'all look.
Yeah.
Like to me, hip hop, like it's hip hop culture. Hip hop is the most influential culture. Rap is a very influential art form. Talk about as Christians why it's so important for us to do that well. Like, let me say more one day.
I mean, it's just important in general because I feel like, God is not boring. God is not an unintelligent God, So I feel like if we're a reflection of Him, then everything we do should like inspire people to want to know more about like who God is. So I feel like doing it well is almost an example too of like, are you actually walking in your calling type stuff? Because I feel like if this is not what you're meant to do, then sometimes you get things that aren't meant for you, or you get things that are like kind of mediocre. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's important to do things well because one, it's the surface level draw in. And then once you get the surface level draw in, they actually hear what you're saying type stuff, then it actually begins to change lives. I think if I look at myself, like I used to listen to like Lecrae and stuff like that. I still do, but
He fell off lately. Just kidding.
But no, like that was my first introduction
Sure.
to Christian rap, which then changed my life, which then led me to like go to a summer camp, which then I ended up getting saved. So like it's important to do it well because then you get people who are interested on a surface level who then you don't know what seeds you're planting to like change their life.
Yeah, can I add to that? Like,
Sure, go ahead.
I think what you said, Ace, and that's my whole position with rap in general. Because even being a Christian rapper, you will be surprised that we don't get as much support as people think from like traditional Christian spaces. But like you said, it's the most influential genre of music. And to your point, Wande, I think when it's done in excellence, even if they don't want to hear the message, they can't deny that it's like, it actually sounds good. So they're like, oh, I can't lie, she just slid.
Sure.
Or he just slid.
Right.
And then it's like now they're actually listening to like what you're saying. And like you're saying, you never know what type of seed you're planting. And like for me, I made a decision like to stop listening to like demonic, degrading secular music like in like late 2019. And when I remember like someone like Lecrae, when I was in the world, I wasn't really tapped into. But as I made that transition, he came back to mind. Like, oh, let me go listen to more Lecrae. Or I think Kanye West had dropped and I know Kanye's gonna do some things. Pray for Kanye.
Pray for you.
But
Go ahead.
He had dropped like the Jesus King album around then, and it's like, well, let me just go listen to it, and that just helped to supplement my walk, if that makes sense.
So good.
So I think it's very important that we make it an excellent, even if it doesn't grab the attention of the person right away. You never know when you're gonna come back into somebody's brain. Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is, let's make sure we steward our words carefully.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we were rubbing a little bit on the lyrics. And you said you had issues with some of your original lyrics, which I think they were fine. But I do think, man, the fact that little girls are coming up to y'all and reciting these lyrics, and people are being delivered literally spiritually through some of the way through rap music, which is like kind of surreal, but it is real because it is happening. So I want to also ask y'all like, what is y'all's what do you want people to take away from the music that you guys make as women? And I also feel like women in hip hop is not just for other young girls. I mean, like Lauryn Hill to me is one of the best rappers of all time, and I put her up there with like Andre 3000. I feel like sometimes we do this like cascading, filtering of women artists are for young girls. Like no, dudes can benefit from hearing a godly woman rap in an excellent way. What is the main takeaway that you guys want people to like draw from your music and your lyrics, and why that's so important, Toya?
One thing I want people to know is that there's more and you can be more. Because I used to work with summer camps with kids. That's probably why I be so bubbly all the time. And I had a little girl in my class. She said, all I want to do is just have a baby and get on welfare. Again, I told you I'm from a small town. So then I was like, do you know it's so much more you can do? And it was a literacy program that I work with. We teach kids how to read. Because guess what? If you don't know how to read, you probably can't get a good job. You probably stuck in this place. That place probably doesn't filter the music. They let you get all the explicit lyrics. But in the better communities, you're not going to hear all that. So I want them to know that God exists. You can be more. There's examples of more, and it's more for you out there. Because some people never leave their hometown, and they may never see another female rapper, but they might go on TikTok or they might go on Instagram and they might see us and they be like, oh snap, like this is a thing, like I have options, like the music is good, she's dressed modestly, like she's fly too though, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's what I just want people to get.
That's so good.
I feel like music, especially rap specifically, because you can say so much in a rap. I feel like it's basically almost like how sermons, how you can deliver a message and change somebody's life. I feel like we have that opportunity to do our music. So I feel like for me, like I want people to learn different subjects. So I think one, like how you said, like there's more to life. I feel like I want to do that for people like mentally, in terms of like seeing like how you can believe in yourself or believe in who God's calls you to be. Believe that there's more to perspective, because I think a lot of people who I find listen to my music are people who are like, oh, you know, I just got saved and like now I'm seeing like more to Christianity, or there's different like principles in the Bible where I never knew anything about that. And so like now what you're saying prompted me to want to go research that and go look into the Bible and go see those type of things. And yeah, I think a lot of other people who listen are just talking about like just the having faith aspect. And so I think it's kind of interesting, because now I'm reflecting back about how I talked about whenever I first was getting saved and stuff like that, God had to develop boldness in me. So I feel like that translates into like what I talk about a lot.
Yes.
Into others.
Wande be shooting it straight on those bars. She's like you're very mild mannered and soft spoken, but your lyrics are cut very strong.
But yeah, I feel like I feel like it just kind of resonates back into like a theme of like God wanting me to now, okay, I taught you that lesson, now teach other people that lesson about how to be bold and unapologetic and stuff like that in their music.
That's so good. Yeah, I definitely want to kind of pause it right here and get more into the song and kind of segue into how that showed up on this remix and how we're putting the content out to hopefully, like, we do our part. I mean, God does the work, but we try to make it good, try to make it excellent. So we'll be right back, y'all. This is the 116 Life Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. I'm here with Childlike CiCi, Toyalove, Reece Lache, Wande, Jackie Hill Perry. I'm your host, Ace Harris. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. Make sure y'all pre-save the Stay Low remix out now everywhere. Actually, it's not out yet. But that's why you got to pre-save it so we get them streams up when it drop. So we were just talking offline about the Stay Low song and the remix, how it came together. CiCi, you know, I wanted to hear your thoughts. I know me and you, me, Alex, and Dre, we pushed you on your original verse. We are kind of crazy when it comes to quality control, just admittedly.
Yeah.
I can't lie if I don't like something. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna try to be gentle with it.
Yeah.
But we made you rewrite your verse.
Yeah.
Two times. Not made you, we asked you to.
Yeah.
Only for you to come back to the original. But tell about how you felt about the song too. Like, I didn't know this is new information.
Oh, okay. So we were talking offline. I was saying like when we were first working on the song, I wasn't like the biggest fan of the song. I don't even know why. But
way to promote the new remix. Not just kidding.
No, but it like grew on me. Like as we was doing content stuff, I was like, nah, this actually slide. And I think because I wasn't as much in the original creative process, because I just came in and did my verse, I didn't really understand the song at first.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as we actually started talking about it, like when we were being asked questions, like, what's the song about? And I started meditating on it and stuff. I was like, you know, this does have a deeper meaning. Like,
Sure, it does.
This is good. And it just sounded sonically different too from anything I had done. Like I do like hard type beats and stuff, but that sounded like, I don't know, it's different, but in a good way. It grew on me.
That's amazing.
I'll say that's sad.
And I'm gonna bring you in, Jackie. You said that you loved it when you. Tell me what you felt about when you first heard the original.
What I was saying is that I don't listen to a lot of Christian rap, and
Thank you. That's good.
I just don't.
No, keep it real.
And it's because either they don't rap well, or the beat sounds like it's for a youth group. And that's no shade. Youth groups
fair.
need Jesus. But I like this song because it sounded ghetto. And I was like, I like ghetto songs.
Nah.
You know?
What is ghetto?
That's pretty deep on his own.
What is that? What does that mean when you say ghetto? And we all black. We can keep it 100 on here. You know what I'm saying? Not all the fans are, but it's all good. Y'all have to.
It just sound ghetto.
Yeah.
Like it just sound like the producer might have been high. But he wasn't. Because I'm saying, like, a lot of, I fully believe that a lot of secular music isn't just good because of the resources, because I think they have more resources, but I think it's good because they be having demons help them. And I'm not lying. I feel like when I used to smoke weed, there is something that happens to your mind where you hear things sonically differently. And so I just be wondering if producers are actually in the spirit when they produce. Because you can't tell me that the Holy Spirit can't make you make better music than a demon-possessed
God
producer.
who created
You get what I'm saying?
the heavens and the earth?
So I don't know how we got there. I liked it because it was ghetto. That's the point.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
Nah,
Go ahead.
that felt like the other topic, but then we're gonna go off topic. So I'm gonna let you stay on topic.
But I want to camp out there. You said it sounds like ghetto.
Ghetto.
I think that there's something there. Like sometimes I feel like to be yours authentically. I'm from the suburbs. So I ain't gonna try to flex like I'm from a But I feel like sometimes in Christian community, whatever is quote unquote ghetto is tampered or tamed to assimilate to the larger majority culture.
Audience.
And I feel like with black women, it's particular. And I want to feel like I be wanting like let y'all be yourself, because I feel like the reason why I love the record is because like on that chant of a hook, on that thumping 808, these are Christians expressing themselves on this beat. And it doesn't fit the box that people associate with Christianity or goodness. So I think it's refreshing for my ears to be like, yes, these Christians can bring the same energy. That goes
back to what I said earlier about like you're listening, even if you're not listening to what we're saying yet, you can't deny like this actually hit. And then it'll hit you later like, wait, did she just say? Then it connects.
For sure.
So it's like that type of thing. Like sonically, it sounded like it could have been a secular song in a sense.
Sure.
But we had to make it holy.
Yeah, but I think it's us. It's like I ain't gonna lie. Like the intention in the record from A&R team. Like I personally like when records feel like they could play in a club or any kind of club sonically, but I want the potency of the lyrics to be like piercing just as strong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't want it to feel like, oh man, this sounds like something that would play at a Christian festival. Because I feel like, not only Christian, like the world doesn't have the authority on these sonics. We can reclaim them too.
No, I was about to say,
You know
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
got Reece got something.
Go ahead. Go.
And while we on that, I have people all the time like All Love went viral a little bit or whatever.
Congrats.
But I have people all the time messaging me, commenting on my videos, saying, one dude was like, if y'all knew the science behind 808s and what the sounds and what it does to you, and I'm like, well, who do you think created those waves?
I heard
Who do you
David
think?
play,
Who do you
play
think?
some
Because the
instruments
enemy,
to get some demons to settle down. I think
because the enemy ain't create nothing.
Yeah.
He ain't create confusion.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
but God created the earth and everything in it. So why can't
I
no, you're
always-
okay. So and then so I hit him and I was like, whatever you feeling right now, let it go.
She got prophetic.
Can I say this, Ace?
Let it go.
Go ahead,
I feel
CiCi, go ahead.
like I personally feel like we give the enemy too much credit. Like we give the enemy creator credits for everything, and I feel like God creates, the enemy perverts. And as believers, we're called to redeem.
Sure. that's
So I
good.
feel like we shouldn't limit ourselves to only redeeming certain arts, especially like we said earlier, rap is more influential than any genre.
1,000.
So it's like, I never could see God saying, stay away from that. That's influential. Don't do that. Only, like, come on, we're called to redeem.
So good.
Yeah.
That's so good. I want to bring you into Wande. Like, Jackie said she liked the record because it felt ghetto. Have there been times where, like, you know, like being as a woman and rapping, do you feel like your authentic self is accepted in Christian spaces at times? What's the wrestle there? And why do we all kind of cringe when she said that word? Like, why is that like? Why is our authentic self being so gatekept that time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like I have a particular grace upon my life to where I've actually been accepted type stuff. But I feel like one thing I've had to learn, I think God has actually been showing me to like not discredit yourself before you get places. So I feel like for me, one thing that God has been trying to show me is like, hey, make your explicitly Christian music and don't basically shut yourself down before other people do type stuff. So I feel like an example, like ESPN or whatever, using the music, I feel like my normal self would have been like, oh, it's Christian, like they're not gonna play it. But then God has been showing me like, no, I'm actually trying to show you that like if you just do what you're called to do, then like I'll be able to use it regardless, type stuff. And then even like how we talked about like things sounding ghetto or whatever. I remember one time I was at a birthday party. It happened to be at a club. But you know,
Christian club?
that's here or there. But anyway, but because it was funny, the DJ was like, "Oh, I love you. I listen to Christian music," and he played my songs, and I was like, "I don't know how I feel about this," but I was like, "Yeah."
How were the people reacting?
They were acting normal. They're acting normal. So I was like, "Hey, you know, praise the Lord." But that was even like a funny scenario to where it's like, you don't know like who's listening to your music in different spaces.
I mean, is that a problem for y'all? Do y'all feel
I
like?
want to say this.
Go ahead.
I want to say this. I think the problem with the palatability of it and why people don't make harder music sometimes is because of shows. You get to a show, and some audiences, like if you play a Stay Low, they're gonna look at you like, what?
So tell me,
But
what's the look? What's the look they give you?
I think people feel like for certain festivals they have to make more palatable music. I mean, I feel like my music hit a different way, but I feel like people change. Yeah, they got to be more poppy.
How does that make you
mean?
feel as an artist when you feel like those not shackles, but those restraints?
I mean, I feel like you gotta have a catalog too. Like you got feelings, you go through feelings, you feel happy. Sometimes you feel like you need to stay low.
That's true. That's
That's
fair. That's a good perspective. I love that. Yeah. So you were saying something, CiCi?
Yeah, it's a little off topic, but I'm gonna say because I feel led to say it. I'm sorry. This is like, I don't even know if this is on topic, but I just want to tell a story real quick. Like, it may make sense, but I was like serving with my church, and they have this thing where they go into like they go into the schools, but in my state, you technically can't like talk about Jesus to them. Like you have to like you can't like, they can come to you about it, but you're legally, they say we can't say nothing, but we turn on a Christian hip hop, like, we can play the music that we're playing the music, and then bam, that starts the conversation. Like they're listening to the words and like, did they just say Jesus? Is this talking about God? So it's like that sound, I'm kind of connecting it back to like the ratchetness.
Sure.
Like the people, they don't have any idea what's going on, like what's really being played, because it sounds like normal rap.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden the kids are actually listening. So then they're coming up to us like, is this talk about God? Who is that? And it starts a whole conversation to then now we can go ahead and minister to them because
so
they
good.
initiated the actual conversation. Type
But it had to slap though, right?
yeah, like it's slapping.
I feel that.
Yeah.
That's super good. So you were saying
But
something?
that's it, yeah.
Reece?
And I was gonna say this before, but like, and also like people that love hip hop, like culturally, it was like black people. They don't hate God as much as like we Christians try to make it seem.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of times we feel like they're against Christian hip hop or whatever we have going on, but it's not that. What's good? Like, I remember giving somebody one of my CDs and I'm like, it's Christian rap. And he was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, just take it. He ended up hitting me up and was like, stop telling people that's Christian rap. He said stop because they not gonna take it. I almost didn't take it, but you hard.
You hard, yeah. That's I think that's super dope. And that's how I feel about this record. Stay Low remix. It's hard. Like, as this remix is coming out, I'm gonna bring to you, Jackie. What do you feel like? How you feel like God's gonna use specifically your verse on this remix? Not, I mean, you drop a few features here and there, but like saying everything we said about the hardness, the ratchetness, quote unquote ghetto is slapping. This record embodies all that to me. How do you feel like God's gonna use your verse on this remix? I'm gonna come to you Wande too with the same question.
I have no idea, but I don't know. I would just hope. I'll say this. I think my thought process was embodying the hook. And so it was like, how can I discuss humility? You know, when I mentioned Stephen and how he looked up, you know what I'm saying, and saw Jesus. Praise God. Like, I would want it to do for people what Flame Song did for me when I first became a Christian. I remember he said something about Zacchaeus. And I'm like, who is that? And I went to the scriptures and I started reading that story.
fire.
You know what I'm saying? So if I mention Stephen, it's like, who is that? Now you go to Acts and you read his story and then you see Paul holding the coat and all the things. So I think, I guess I would just want God to use it to bring people to truth by virtue of the scriptures.
Love it.
Because we wasting our time if that don't happen. You know what I'm saying?
See, everybody got meaning.
I love it. And Wande, what about you? Like, obviously, you're adding to the remix as well. What do you want to see God? How would you want to see like God use this record or people take away from it?
Yeah, I think for me, my adage of humbleness for the song was like me actually doing the song per se, because that was during the time where my mouth was like shut, basically, and like I couldn't open my mouth, and so I had to like walk by faith to show up to the studio type stuff because I literally couldn't talk. And then what encouraged me during that season was like Moses, because Moses, he was like, hey God, like my speech sounds kind of crazy right now. It's kind of embarrassing that you're kind of asking me to go do this type of stuff. And then God is like, I don't care. I told you to go talk. But then, God sent him a friend, Aaron, he said, I'm gonna help you out type stuff. And so, I mean, I guess for me, technology is my help out friend. But yeah, so for me doing that verse, I feel like I want to inspire people to kind of like, I guess if they see like my story of like, hey, like you don't have to like sound perfect every single time, like just be obedient and do what God is telling you to do type stuff. Cause like even in there, you can hear my lisp a little bit. But I think it's okay. Like even through the lisp, I'm like going to still be obedient and do what God is calling me to do. Even like while I'm like relearning how to talk, like God
I said in my verse,
like,
I'm with the God of Moses.
I had no idea that. Shut up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I said like
best Kanye.
Yeah, so that's why I said like the whole through the wire thing. Yeah.
It's literally like, and I feel like I'm excited. I mean, there's so much we could talk about this song. We had a lot of things we touched on, from like women in hip hop to culture to the potency in lyrics, the stewardship of the writing, to how Jackie thought the record was hard because it sounded ghetto and how that's a good thing. There's so many dope things to say about this record, and to be honest, I just pray that everybody listening, viewing, just stream the record, and that it brings you closer to God, to see God through it. We can't control the outcome. We're here to just make dope art, reflect goodness, and pray that God uses it a little bit. We're playing a little bit of a piece and part in His kingdom building process. So I thank each and every one of y'all. Thank you, Reece Lache. Thank you, Toyalove. Thank you, Childlike CiCi, Jackie Hill Perry, Wande. Shout out to Matt, Joe, all the producers, and this has been a great conversation. Stay Low remix out, coming soon. Pre-save it. I'm your host, Ace Harris. This is the 116 Life Holy Culture Radio. Sirius Channel 140. Stay low. Later.